reason I've been able to survive, literally, is just through a good hustle. And that's just like my personality. And I don't know how to teach someone, you gotta hustle. But like, that's the thing. It's like, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, right? I had to work for everything. I had nothing. I went through a really bad breakup whilst I had a baby by myself, where I wasn't given any support. So I was forced to get back on my feet, put myself together, and really go out there and hustle. And let me tell you, I did some really fantastical things.
Give me an example of your fantastical thing.
So I'm very good at deal making.
Okay.
I was telling you that one of my arts is kind of like connecting the dots, right?
And connecting people too.
And
You're
connecting
very good at that.
and connecting people. So I would structure things that like worked in my favor, even on my even like on the personal side. Mm-hmm. I have some really crazy stories. So I don't even know where to start, if I should say it out loud.
Just give us one.
But like, I'll give you one.
Spill the tea,
okay.
Dara.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna make this a nice juicy episode. So when I first moved to London, I was about like 26 years old, 25, 26.
Where did you move from?
I had just worked, from my master's degree in Boston.
In Boston, okay.
I then went to Switzerland, and then I was in Switzerland for like a year, and then I moved to London. And my landlord, and listen, I always lived within my means. I wasn't one of those girls that are, like, pay my rent. No, I lived within my means. I was a junior architect making a junior architect salary.
Right.
I was working for a really big, huge, amazing corporate company, and I was living in a house with 6 Swedish girls. Actually, there wasn't 6 of us. There was 1, 2, 3. There was 4 Swedish girls and me. I was like the token Swede. I don't know how. It's probably the hustle. I always get myself into, whatever kind of crew group and like assimilate, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm living in a house on Cheney Walk in Chelsea with 4 Swedish girls. We had so much fun. We're going out every single night, like dancing on tables. I mean, I was 25 years old. It was great.
Nothing wrong with dancing on tables.
The landlord's like, you guys are kicked out. We're like, our Swedish house mafia is getting kicked out. What? It was like a party every day. We're like,
was it because you were partying too much?
No, I mean, all the girls were educated. Most of them worked in finance. One worked in consulting. We were like young professionals. We're good girls, and we get kicked out. And this was before I started a business. This is when I knew I must have had a tendency for like making connections and deals and relationships, by the way.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm kicked out of my house. I have nowhere to live. Anybody who lost their job gets kicked out of their house, gets left with no money. Like any of these things like make people absolutely panic. You cry, you go through this like, oh my God, what do I do?
There's so much certainty taken away from you.
Yeah, uncertainty, that's a good one. And I was friends with a wonderful, wonderful businessman, entrepreneur who I love dearly to this day, 10 years later, with a man named Robin Burley. He is fantastic, the owner of 5 Harper Street. Yep. So whilst 5 Harper Street was being built, he was like, listen, we have an extra space in this area, and if you want, you can live there if you don't complain about the construction, and you make sure that there's like no like weird like hobos coming around and like, you don't...
You take care of the place.
Yeah, just take care of the place. Make sure it's good. Don't complain about the construction. I'm like, I'm not complaining about anything.
I just want a place to
I just
stay.
need a place to crash. Yeah. And so that was my first, that was like my home for a while, was 5 Harper Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
That's just like a crazy random story, okay?
I love that.
But yeah, so I was kind of like the watch guard of the building whilst it was getting built. But it was a finished flat. It was really nice. I was very appreciative. I took care of the place. And yeah, so that was just a very small example of how you can, I always say, the cheesy cliche, turn lemons into lemonade. All of a sudden, Mayfair was my new address. Oh. I had my one-bedroom flat from Curzon Street. I was the first official member.
Love it.
And like I said, it was a great experience. I had so much fun. Mm-hmm. I was always really positive, I do this like almost on a daily basis. Not always for myself. I help a lot of people.
You do it for
as well.
others. I actually want to dive into that, but tell me, how are we doing here?
We're doing amazing, guys. Look, our chicken is all nice and cooked, so we don't have to wait forever now. I'm just waiting for this water to boil, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna chop up.
Should I chop up some of
Actually, you know,
rosemary?
the thing I love about soups is sometimes you can just like
Throw it
dump
like
it
that.
right in.
Perfect,
But
let's do
if we want to be like, you know, really proper or whatever, we could chop it, or we could just throw it in like this.
I think we can, ooh.
Just throw it in. Throw it in. Okay, so we're gonna put the chicken in the pot. I pre-cooked it a little bit so that it was, you know, in a way it's good because it kind of cooked off all this fat here. And since we're all coming back from the holidays and we want to, you know,
Be nice and healthy for
all those
Dan.
New Year's resolutions.
And
about
that
getting skinny
usually
again.
is getting out of the window
Yeah,
fastly and fab.
fast and fab. I just realized all my lemon juice is in there too, so
Well,
we'll add a
should
little
we
bit for
do-
lemon.
Okay.
We'll add a little bit for.
Shall we?
Yeah. Okay.
do a
Fine.
little
Why
bit of
not?
that?
We'll just put it in. Okay.
Let's get it
Yeah.
fatty.
We'll just go fatty.
Let's
But
go.
it's got a lot of flavor in it, so
There we
that's
go.
always good. So we'll let that cook. You guys, again, I am not a cook, so if you're watching this and you're like, that girl just did everything in the wrong order. Listen, soup isn't good if it's just bouillon and water, bland. And it's not good if you're just boiling a chicken. But when you add both, somehow all the magic comes together.
Should we then? Ooh, right in there.
Right in there.
Is it gonna dissolve like that?
Is that what you're supposed to do?
I think you're meant to.
Oh, really? My bad. I don't know.
Are you meant
Well,
to?
I
like,
told you, I'm not.
I don't know. Well, let's
I
like.
told you I'm not good at cooking.
I don't know.
But look, if we can make this, like anybody else can make it. And like I
Well,
said, it's soup
whether we're
season.
making it in the right way or not, that's
Or
one
wrong
question.
way, we don't
but whatever.
know. This looks amazing, by the way.
It's so colorful. It actually.
Oh, did you add
It's-
another onion?
Yes.
Oh, you did good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think another onion's
You
good.
look like a. You know, in those movies, it's like.
I'm dressed in black with my black hair.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, it's not Halloween yet. So here's our wonderful soup. I love that we're making soup, by the way. I'm a big soup
I
fan.
love soup. I love it.
I love soup. It fills you up. It's good for a diet. You know what I mean?
Right. So you're obviously running this business. You're not running it alone.
No.
Talk to me a little bit about how you get the right individuals on board, how you build your team.
That's a really good question because I was just saying I like your OCD because you're really organized and structured.
Yeah.
So,
You got my message. I'm like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
4 p.m.
I need
I'll
that.
say da-da-da.
Exactly. And I'm really attracted to people that are very structured and very well organized. So on my team, I've got a great operational team, and we have to be good at operations, logistics, project management, finance, you know, legals,